Yo, what up guys? Welcome to Gameover Ent, and this week on The Walking Dead Wednesday, talking about one of the biggest questions I've been receiving on the channel for the past couple weeks. Where is AJ, Jane, and Kenny in season 3 of The Walking Dead? Alright guys, so you already know we got the teaser video from Telltale on season 3, which did not show any AJ, Jane, or Kenny to be found anywhere, which were the last remaining remnants from season 2 that could possibly carry over, supposed to be carrying over, and a lot of people have their different theories about what's going on. I fished through my comments section, over 2,000 comments I went through. Thank you guys for that, and I found a lot of interesting fan theories out there that could be telling us what's going on. So I'm going to read some of them and we're going to discuss them right here. Let's go. Are they going to do what they did in the beginning of season 2, where the two awesome characters, Omid and Krista, get wiped off the face of the earth right away, so that the choices you made with Kenny and Jane don't matter and they will die in T-5 seconds? So I remember back in season 2, the two characters that could possibly carry over from season 1 that you knew were still alive, Omid and Krista, they were taken out of the equation in about 10 minutes of season 2 episode 1, so yeah, they did not last long. And something similar like that happening with Kenny and Jane, where they die really quickly. I think fans would not be happy about that. But let's move on to the next one. Yeah, Kenny and Jane are going to die at the start of season 3. So another predictor out there that's saying Kenny and Jane are a ticking time bomb. So this comment right here will start about halfway. Second, what the fuck are they going to do with the season 2 endings? I stuck with Kenny 100% to the end. Is all they going to be quickly wiped away with some bullshit flashback, or worse, a couple lines of dialogue? Remember Krista's pregnancy? LOL. So yeah, Krista's pregnancy, that was something that was, it could have been a potential plot point, but it's definitely taken out of the equation. I remember in season 2 episode 5, they were hinting at that. It wasn't like abundantly obvious she was pregnant, but the signs were there, and they basically just got rid of it all the way. Like, no one even knows what happened to Krista's baby, which is like still a mystery to this day. It was kind of crazy. Hopefully something like that doesn't happen, where you got some interesting plot point where, you know, you want to know what happened and you just like, whoa, just left hanging out in the dust. So let's move on to the next one here. Now this one's actually a pretty popular theory right here. Baby AJ turned and bit her finger, and she had to cut it off. So talking about the teaser footage with Clementine missing the finger, some people think that AJ turned into a walker and then chomped on Clementine's finger while she was holding him, which would be pretty crazy, man. So this is basically saying that AJ is dead at this point, or at least undead. I don't think Telltale would do something like that. That seems a little bit dark. I don't think they would, because, well, all endings actually have AJ intact. If your choices are really going to affect whether Clementine has her finger or not, I don't know if that would be one that would like manifest in season 3. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. It could happen. It's possible. People have to remember, this isn't a guaranteed episode 1 of season 3. It could be very late into the series. If it's so, it's a very good chance you can see Jane, Kenny, and both, depending on your season 2 choices. So keep hope alive, Miguel. Keep hope alive. I hear you, man. So, well, I gotta go off the history though. When Telltale normally shows these teaser footage, or, you know, these advanced trailers before the episode comes out, way before the episodes come out, they usually always have episode 1 footage inside of them. So I'm just down to believe that this is going to be happening in episode 1. Whatever storyline is going on with Javier and Clem here in the teaser, I believe that's episode 1. Can somebody please explain to me who Javier is? I just assumed it was AJ grown up. So yes, plot twist. Javier is actually AJ. I don't think so, man. So Telltale, just to make this clear, Telltale already said that Javier is a brand new character that we haven't seen before, and that you know, he's I think he's Cuban, of Cuban descent too. So no, he's not AJ. Okay, AJ is black. Number one, they don't look anything alike. Just to smash that theory right there. But moving on. The thing I hate about Telltale, your choices basically don't matter. The determinate characters always die after you save them. It's stupid. So the determinate curse, where the characters do not live very long or are taken out of the story altogether. Hopefully Telltale can defeat that curse with this season 3, but it's not looking very good so far, with no signs of Kenny, Jane, or even the baby. I mean, season 2 is all but been erased, at least by the teaser standards. There's no signs of season 2 anywhere in that teaser. Moving on. In the first part of season 3, they will go back to their new home where Kenny is going to be. He's going to be older, maybe in a wheelchair or a broken arm or a missing leg. So the characters Kenny or Jane may come back with some flaws. Some things have happened to them throughout the years, these 2 years of time skip, where they are missing a limb or they are like critically injured. So the characters are still alive out there, but they just are not the same person they used to be, weathered down by life and the apocalypse altogether. Interesting. I thought that was grown up AJ. Once again, talking about Javier being AJ. No go. I think Kenny or Jane is going to die at the start of the season, just like Omid. It's possible, man. It's possible. It'd be really cheap if they did do that, man. I mean, like, come on. You already played that card before, Telltale. Don't do it again, because I don't think anybody was satisfied or happy with Omid's death. I mean, but you're not really happy with a character death that you like, but you know what I mean. Like, as far as telling the storyline, it's just like, come on, bro. Barely 5 minutes in and Omid's already dead. That was a low blow. Alright, next up, this is off topic of this video, but there's a theory of mine with Jane and Kenny. Depending on who you go with, if you go solo, I reckon the character you go with will probably die off screen, but Clem will learn from them or how they survived so far and will have the survival skills of the one you go with. But if you go solo, then Clem might pick up on how Lee survived the apocalypse and might affect some of Clem's thoughts and choices on different scenarios. I hope this theory makes sense, but I think this is how the final choice of season 2 will affect season 3. So this one is a very interesting theory here, I gotta say. Like, if you went with Jane, you may learn Jane's survival tactics more abundantly, like the way Clementine fights or deal with walkers would be how Jane would have dealt with a walker. Okay, and then vice versa. You know, if you went with Kenny, you know, you would deal with walkers like a Kenny would deal with walker, you know, crowbar in hand. Or if you're Jane, you're probably gonna be using the cow catcher technique and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting to think about, remnants of Jane or Kenny manifesting himself within Clementine's character and the way she behaves throughout the apocalypse. And this one right here, I think, is talking about the season 2 episode 5 Jane ending. If you're with Jane and you let the people in or not, they will attack the group, kill Jane and possibly AJ, and Clem would be hurt bad and have lost a finger. They left her for dead. So basically, Jane, AJ wiped out by the group you let in. Even if you don't let them in, they come back later on and then attack the House department store and still get Jane and AJ in this particular theory right here. But you know, Clementine losing that finger is just a little bit off. It makes me think that the finger is a torture thing, like someone did that on purpose, like it wasn't like an accident or something like that, because just the ring finger on the left hand is just a very odd finger for Clementine to be missing. So you know, that's what I think about that, but we'll have to see. But cool theory right here. And I myself don't really trust those people that Clementine or Jane could have let in. This is what I think is happening in the trailer of Clementine and Javier. They are possibly after Arvo, Mike, and Bonnie, or because of baby AJ, maybe if you side with Kenny in the end, because all three were stealing some bribes from the truck because of the way Kenny is. So, alright, so theory here is that Arvo, Mike, and Bonnie are back, and they have kidnapped baby AJ this time as maybe a revenge plot to get back at Clementine and maybe Kenny, you know, or Jane, depending on who you're with. So they are the ones we're pursuing in this trailer, and they're the one behind this whole scheme, because it seems like someone's been kidnapped and Javier and Clementine are trying to rescue them. Alright, so interesting theory that Arvo would come back with Mike and Bonnie and do this, their little trio of misfits. And Bonnie, you know, she possibly could be dead out there, so she's determined it, but Mike and Arvo could possibly reemerge in the 3rd season here. You guys are dumb. AJ's at Wellington and Jane is dead, and Kenny's dead too. Okay, we're dumb, but you spelled 2 wrong, okay? And the fact that AJ is at Wellington, you know, how would that be possible in the Jane ending? Like Clementine took AJ all the way back to Wellington. They gotta talk about that, man. They gotta talk about that. But they're saying that AJ's safe. He's all good. No one's laid a finger on AJ. He's fine. And Jane and Kenny are dead. So it's possible. It's possible. AJ's the only one of the few guaranteed alive characters at the end of season 2. So he could be out there somewhere. He's definitely out there somewhere, dead or undead. I've got a theory. What if AJ died, turned into a walker while Clem was holding him, and she just in shock, and then AJ bit off her finger? So this, we talked about this a little bit earlier. A popular theory out there: AJ did it. She's responsible for Clementine's missing finger. I don't know, bro. I don't know. As I suspected, the season 2 endings don't mean shit. So this is not really a theory, but they're basically saying that season 2 has basically been erased. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Telltale did say they want to start not anew, but in a way that anybody who haven't played season 1 and season 2 can really pick up on season 3 and still be fine. So it's saying that season 2, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. So none of the things you've seen in season 2 are going to manifest or come up in season 3 whatsoever, which would be a complete letdown, but that would kind of go against what Telltale said too. So I don't want to believe this right here. The endings have to mean something. I think the man who was with Clementine was Alvin Jr. Another one of those Javier is AJ theories. Wow. I think the guy who was with Clementine is AJ. Here we go again. Dude, maybe the guy is Clementine and she just grew up and that's the baby. Wow, this one's even more crazier. They're saying that Javier is actually Clementine. So Javier is Clementine, and Clementine that you see, that you think is in season 3 teaser, is actually AJ. Yeah, just gender reversal and, you know, just a major time skip just out the ass. I don't know. AJ grew up fast. Wow. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Javier, AJ theories, please. I think that was AJ. No, no more. No more. All right, here we go. Here we go. A real one. I also think that the same group with the symbol stole AJ, and now I have to get him back. That seems a bit obvious though, just like in season 1 where the stranger stole Clem. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more complex than that. So history will repeat itself. It's saying like same way how Clementine was kidnapped at the end of season 1 episode 5 by the stranger, AJ's been kidnapped this time, and Clementine, being the more adult of the two, is going to be saving AJ this time around. Interesting theory. It could happen. It could happen. AJ could be one out there. But you know, who would want to steal a baby? I talked about that early on. That's a possible reason why someone would want a baby. You know, in the zombie apocalypse, childbirth is a difficult thing. You don't have doctors around, so trying to steal a newborn or early baby and like taking him as your own baby. You know, people want that sense of fatherhood and motherhood. They can get it that way, but man, stealing a child is pretty messed up. So this theory right here is a pretty long one, so I'm going to cut to the middle of this right here. I wanted the choices to actually matter. I mean, hell, I just thought of a way to make your choices sort of matter. You're in the woods with whoever you picked, Kenny or AJ, or yourself by yourself with AJ. If you pick Kenny or Jane, they would be holding AJ. If you're by yourself, you will be holding AJ. If you're with Kenny or Jane, some walkers pass by, biting them on the shoulder and grabbing AJ. They tell you to run and forget about them. If you're by yourself, a few walkers grab you and you drop AJ. You're forced to run and you do run. If you didn't play season 2, you would get the by yourself scene. After the big 3 year later pops up, time skip. Life for fuck's sakes. I just thought of that in 5 minutes. Okay. So he goes on his rant. But that would be the same thing as like people said earlier about Kenny or Jane having an Omid or Krista type appearance where they only show up in the first 5 minutes of the Walking Dead, and that's just a horrible thing to do. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because you know, fans would feel so cheated, like, oh hey, I remember you guys from season 2, you're one of my favorite characters, I went on my way to save you at the end of season 2, and oh, you're dead, or you're gone from the storyline already. Damn, it's season 3, damn it. Alright, hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully they get a more significant role than that. But moving on. Another long comment right here, but I think this theory here is kind of interesting. Let's read. This is a theory, so it's just me thinking out. Maybe AJ is doomed to die, but the choice is how Clem is going to feel about it. The Jane ending. I don't think Jane is going to stay with Clementine. Every time Jane's life is at risk, she leaves Clementine. Let's say the survivors is going to attack House after either inside or outside, depending on your choices. So another person who thinks the people that Jane or Clementine could have let in are bad people. I'm not the only one. Alright. AJ died and Clementine is alone with the feeling of Jane leaving her in harm's way. Yeah, damn, that'd be messed up. Kenny ending, AJ dies outside with Kenny on your side, and Clementine have now the feelings of hate of herself by not choosing to stay at Wellington. If you choose to stay at Wellington, then Wellington is going to get attacked by travelers who get deselected. AJ dies and Clementine is now alone grieving with many other new faces that she's never seen before. Alone ending. Inside the walker herd, AJ is going to cry, attracting the walkers. Clementine tries to get away with AJ but cannot. A walker rips AJ out of Clementine's arm and the walker is now going after AJ, leaving Clementine alive. Of course, there's going to be other choices like choosing to use the axe or the screwdriver and trying to make a cow catcher but failing. The moral is that you're going to have a furious Clem or a depressed Clem or a stronger Clementine, etc. So, wow, went into a lot of detail about all the different endings and how they could manifest themselves in Clementine in season 3. It's pretty cool, man. I see a very interesting theory in here where on the Kenny side of things, the Kenny ending, where let's say you have two choices where to go inside Wellington. If you go inside Wellington, the people who've already been cast out of Wellington all these years and stuff, everybody who's been given a charity bag, right? They all form an alliance outside of that. They form their own little group and posse, and their plan is to take over Wellington by force. Like, they weren't let in, so now they're gonna take over. So Clementine and AJ are now living inside Wellington, and this group actually attacks them, and they make their way in, destroying the whole city and killing like AJ in the process. That would be crazy right there. And then vice versa, if you are with Kenny and you left with Kenny, with AJ and all them, and you're still you're part of this group, the group that attacks Wellington on the other end of things. Clementine and Kenny are attacking Wellington, trying to get in, trying to get that safe haven they've been looking for their whole lives, and then AJ somehow dies in a conflict or something like that. That would be crazy, a crazy turn of events, and interesting way to actually start season 3 off, just with that and the alternate ending. But all this stuff is depressing though, because at least Kenny and Jane no longer being in the picture, and also AJ dying as a consequence. So that's pretty dark. We'll have to see, but that sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty cool. Oh no, this one again. The guy's name is AJ, talking about Javier, but no, we got an interesting comic back to that. No, you must know how humans work. Javier is in his 20s and Clementine is 13. How could a newborn baby age 20 years in 2 to 3 years? All right, yes, tell him, bro, tell him. All right, yes, I mean the AJ is Javier thing is just ridiculous, man. Guys, chill. AJ is safe. He's probably in a secret bunker base with Kenny or Jane, or someone new that they have met. Kenny or Jane will probably die. It's sad but true. We might be seeing the family which came at the end of season 2 when you go with Jane. I'm 100% sure of that, because if there's an option to keep them, then they will have something to do with the story. You know, I don't know about that. The fact that there's an option to keep them or discard them means that they are determinate characters, which means they may not show up in every single playthrough. But I see what he's saying here. He's saying like Kenny and Jane are not in this picture right now because AJ is with them. So AJ and Kenny, or AJ and Jane is together, or if you're alone with Clementine by the ending, Clementine's met somebody new and AJ's with them. So AJ's safe, Kenny and Jane are safe, but they're still doomed to die. At least Kenny and Jane are, according to this theory. All right, let's go on to the next one. I've been thinking, the guy that Clem is with, there are 5 different ways that they could have met. You kill Kenny in the season 2 ending, and Jane, Clem, and AJ find their way to the safe place, Carver's old place, and she meets Javier there. So talking about Javier, she met Javier on the way there, so same thing. Kenny and Clem met on the way back if you decide to stay with Kenny. Clem and Jane met him while collecting supplies. Number 5, the biggest one, the guy that Clem was with and the little kid of season 2. If you go with Jane, chose news base. Wow, okay, so it's getting pretty mixed up, jumbled up, but some crazy stuff going on here. So basically what it's saying is like Kenny and Jane and that Clementine's already met Javier at this point. Like they could have met during that 9-day time skip, which happens in every single ending, and that's why he's familiar with or allies with Clem at this point in time, because they've already met before. But you know, the crazy theory at the end there where it says that Javier is this kid at the end of Jane's ending, it's just ridiculous, man. I know Telltale has a new engine, but there's no way this guy right here could turn into this man here. All right, where is AJ? Did he die at Wellington? Maybe AJ could be gone. Telltale may have gotten rid of him. But if they do kill AJ, I'm pretty sure it was going to be an off-camera death. They're not going to probably show any babies being killed, bro. Just like they did Krista's. Just not talked about anymore, not even mentioned anymore. But you can probably assume that Krista's babies did. I have a theory about this trailer. I say that if you choose the staying in Wellington ending, a few years in Wellington have passed and there's more room, and Clementine wants to find Kenny to bring him to Wellington, but everyone in Wellington doesn't want to find Kenny because it's dangerous. So this new character Javier wants to help Clementine to find Kenny, and he probably wants to find someone else in the process, like a family member or a wife or a friend or someone else. He definitely wants to find Kenny because of all the things that Kenny did. Maybe he wants to kill him, maybe he wants to bring him back to Wellington, and there are people with cars and trucks who want to find and kill Clementine and Javier. AJ would be at Wellington. He's 3 years old, so he's being babysitted by Edith. Clementine and Javier come across walkers, and Clementine loses a finger. And Clementine and Javier run across several known characters like Lily or Molly or Michonne or Krista. Hope so. That's my theory. Thank you, and can't wait to get episode 1 and play it. So Javier is actually a resident of Wellington. That's where we met him at in this particular theory right here. And the person we're looking for in the trailer is going to be Kenny. So that's just, this is all focusing on one specific ending of season 2. It's when they equate for everything else. So probably different variations. If you pick Jane, maybe you're looking for Jane and you met Javier somewhere else. Who knows, man? But interesting theory. Thank you for that. What if Arvo made a group of his own to get his revenge on Clementine for his sister's death? AJ could be with him, and he could have done all this to get vengeance. I don't know, just a thought. So Arvo returns, and he wants vengeance on Clementine for killing his sister. So he kidnaps AJ, and he's out there right now. He's the mastermind behind all these tattoos or brandings on Javier and the Walker's neck. Oh man, that would be a pretty elaborate plot. Arvo, he doesn't seem like a very smart guy altogether, so I don't know if he could come up with something like that. But you know, he has a lot of time on his hands, and he has a lot of motivation. If he is still out there somewhere looking out for Clem and stuff like that, it would be pretty crazy for him to come back in that form of fashion. He to be the main villain we're looking for here. What if Lily was the leader of Wellington? And once she saw Kenny and Clementine, or just Clementine with AJ, she wants revenge for leaving her on the road from season 1. So she stole AJ or Kenny or both, tortured Clem, but Javier helped her escape. And now they're going to save AJ or maybe Kenny or both. Alright guys, so I talked about this before in a previous theory of The Walking Dead season 3, that Lily is the leader of Wellington. Crazy theory right there, but it's interesting, man. You turn Lily right here to a evil overlord in this theory right here, because she's cutting off Clementine's finger, she's holding AJ and Kenny hostage. That's just crazy talk right there. It could happen because, you know, Lily, she went a little cuckoo towards the end there, even killing Carly. I will never forgive her for that, okay? But yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to have Lily just re-emerge back into the Walking Dead seasons, and yeah, I would love to see her. Maybe that's not Clem, but AJ, who was a girl all along. The worst plot twist ever, I swear to God. It's safe to say that Kenny and Jane are dead though. Determined characters are always marked for death. Hopefully Telltale can break the curse. Come on Telltale, I know you can do it. I have a small theory about the finger. Maybe if you go with Kenny, AJ turns into a zombie for some unknown reason, and then Kenny has flashbacks about Duck turning, so he is too scared to shoot him. Then you get bit and either have to cut your finger off or let Kenny do it. But if you go by yourself, he bites you when you are holding him, then you cut it off. But if you go with Jane, then she kills zombified AJ, so no cutting off fingers has to be made. If you go by yourself, you could possibly shoot AJ however you want to interpret it. So, whoa, okay, they're saying Clementine's finger is a cause of the ending that you choose at the end of season 2. And if you're with Kenny, you know, he has so much love for AJ and the reminiscence of his own son that could have him freeze up and unable to act, leaving Clementine to lose her finger through AJ's bite if he turns into a walker some way. I mean, could AJ die? It's very possible. I'm surprised that Clementine was able to take care of AJ by herself for 9 days. I mean, she doesn't have any baby fuel. I mean, just nothing that a baby would need to survive. She doesn't have any of that. So AJ could possibly die. And vice versa, if you went with Jane, you know, she don't play. She doesn't have that much love for AJ, so she doesn't hesitate when AJ turns to a walker and takes him out of the equation. So Clementine gets to keep her finger that way. And if you're alone, you get to choose like what you do with AJ. Like, do you know, shoot him right away, or do you like hesitate and then lose your finger that way? I don't know. It's pretty crazy, but an interesting theory here. I like it. The burnt marks could signify slavery. My guess is that AJ and Clem could have been kidnapped, only because in season 2 I killed Kenny and Jane, so within the timeline it's bound to happen. So another one saying Kenny and Jane are doomed due to the termination status, and you know, the brands on Javier and the walkers are actually slavery signs, that they were once members of some type of slave cult or something like that. I don't know. And now let's read Linda's theory here. It says, if you choose to stay with Jane or Kenny, they're probably going to get killed off or taken away from Clem. If you ended in Wellington, there's going to be an ambush and Wellington's going to go down. While the action of these things are happening, Clem escapes with whoever she has left to fight for her protection and freedom. I personally think that AJ is dead because knowing Clem, she wouldn't just leave him. She meets the guy in the trailer while escaping or after the escape. He knows where the group who ambushed Clem takes their hostages, so he might have lost some people too. So now they're both trying to find their people on this journey to who knows where. Alright, so you know, meeting Javier, finding we have similar interests and finding the same group of people, so that's why we joined forces. And saying that AJ is probably dead, but if AJ is dead, you know, what's their incentive for actually, what's Clementine's incentive for actually going after these people in this theory? So I would say AJ, at least in Clementine's mind, is alive at this point, but we'll have to see if that is the case. But that does seem kind of likely, because Clementine and Javier don't seem that close. It's an alliance out of convenience, not friendship. That's what I'm thinking here, but you know, maybe I'm reading too much into that teaser scene. Moving on. I'm fairly certain that the story is AJ has been taken by the 76. Okay, when we said 76, that's something I mentioned in my my breakdown about the symbol on Javier's neck and the walker's back, how it looked like a 76. But people point out to me that it actually looks more like a Capricorn sign, so I'm gonna have to go on with that. It does look a lot like that. Clem loses her finger when AJ is taken. She later meets Javier, who has escaped these 76 group, and he offers to take her back so she can get AJ back and so he can get revenge. So Javier is looking for vengeance, Clementine's looking for AJ in this scenario. I doubt Kenny will return nor Jane. The finale of the last season had, I think, 5 different endings, where somewhere Clementine was with Jane or Kenny or neither. I simply be too much work to keep the storylines for all the people who played the game neat. Since she's visibly older, I'm guessing a couple years have passed, so if anything, the most you'll get out of it is her telling Javier about how they died. So just dialogue options of your choices manifesting, that would be so lame. It's just like they did with the end with Lee, Clementine talking about whether she shot Lee to Luke or whether she left him to die or to turn or whatever. So just one sentence of dialogue. Hopefully it's more representation in that in season 3, but that remains to be seen. What if the guy is AJ and the girl is Clem's daughter? Okay, that's a little different twist. That probably makes no sense whatsoever, but let's say AJ is about 26 years old here and Clementine would be like 35. If Clem had a child at like 20, then that would make sense if that was the girl is 15, and that would explain why she looks like Clementine but is slightly different in appearance. I don't know, it's just a theory. Alright guys, so Telltale has a new engine, okay? Not a new engine, but they have updated their engine. That could be the reason behind Clementine's differences, why the eye colors change, why her skin tone is different, why her facial features have a little different details in her hair too. That can explain everything, the new updated engine, and this is how Clementine will be looking from now on. Now this theory is like what the hell? Like, it'll be so far into the future, it'd be pretty crazy. I'm talking about AJ is 26 years old. That's wild right there. This is Clementine Jr. Okay, let's move on. I think either way with Kenny, he will be dead or he is going to die. But Jane got stabbed by Kenny, not exactly on the heart, so she could still be alive and ready for season 3. So Jane's the evil mastermind behind this, and she's the one we're after in the teaser here. What? I don't know about that. I mean, no one survives. I mean, I ain't gonna say no one. The Clementine survived a shotgun in like her chest area, but Jane, she got stabbed and left right there in the snow. There's no way she's getting up from that. That's like people telling me that Luke is still alive, that he could survive that drowning. I'm just like, come on guys. I know Walking Dead it's not a completely realistic environment, but there's some realism here. People don't survive stuff like that. So if you did let Kenny kill Jane, I have to assume that she is dead. Next, my theory is depending on where you are. If it's either in Wellington or House, another group comes in to take the group with Clementine, AJ, Kenny / Jane, and the other group as prisoners. Okay, the main leader of the group takes AJ to another location. Kenny flips out about taking AJ. The dude Javier guards the group with Clem, and she starts to convince him to take him to the location where they took AJ. As for her finger, it could go either way. A, she got caught and her finger got chopped off by one of the foes, or B, it got shot off. Okay, so another group attacking us, and Javier being a part of that group, somehow Clementine convinced him to switch sides and help her find AJ. So the theory that we're looking for AJ in the teaser here is still there, and Clementine losing her finger in one or two ways. I don't know, but interesting. Thanks for sharing. Alright guys, so we're getting close to the end here. Hey, Gameover Ent, love the channel. You're the go-to guy for the Walking Dead updates. Thank you, sir. So here you said that the teaser could have Kenny or Jane amongst other thoughts, but since they said that there are different endings depending on your own from season 2, do you think the teaser was just one of many scenarios? Like this is one that happens with Clem and AJ are on their own in the end. I hope I'm not the only one with thoughts of this. Keep up the great vids. Alright, thank you for this awesome comment, sir. And it's something to consider. Like this teaser is not set in stone. It's only one of possible different scenarios. It's possible, man, but one thing is concrete about this teaser, and that is Javier. He is the second playable character as confirmed by Telltale Games. So he's going to be in the storyline no matter what. So that makes me just think that this is going to happen in everybody's scenario. This scene here with Javier, Clementine chasing after somebody or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. Alright guys, so this is the final comment here, and it is a long one. What might have happened if Clem went with Jane and rejected the family? Jane is with AJ in another room while Clementine is looking for something when she hears Jane talking to someone. She peers out, and to her surprise she sees Lily asking to be let in. She's considerably different from the last time Clem saw her, and she's afraid to step out. However, Lily notices her silhouette and asks about her. Jane beckons Clem forward and she reluctantly goes. Lily suddenly starts asking Clem a lot of questions, appearing to get more and more angry. Finally, she pulls out the gun and starts shooting. What either Jane nor Clementine notice is that a bullet hit AJ. They assume that he's crying because of the noise. Clementine takes AJ per Jane's demands and runs away. AJ has gone quiet, and Clementine starts to check him. No movement. The gunfire suddenly stops. Clementine waits for a while before going back over. Jane and Lily are nowhere to be found. She hears what sounds like a soft moaning, and she checks on AJ only to have him bite her finger. She drops him, abandoning him since he is dead. She meets the new character shortly after, who takes her finger off quickly. Sorry if this is too long. No, thank you, Wendy Rat. This was very elaborate and pretty well thought out. I like this one right here. So Lily comes back and she ain't playing nice. Whoa, attacking Jane and Clementine here at Harold's department store. That would be crazy. And I like the dramatic approach to how AJ turns like he's shot, but no one knows why he's crying and stuff, and they find out when it's too late. That would be wild. Okay guys, so yes, that is the end of the theories right there that I got from the fans. I appreciate all the comments, all of them, even the crazy Javier's AJ ones, but yes, thank you for that. So I think it's kind of obvious here that a lot of people want to just know that the season 2 endings have not been forsaken, okay, that they will carry over. Now Telltale did mention that this season 3 is going to be a new entry point for newcomers and also carry over decisions from season 2. We see the new entry point from the teaser, okay, that is all new. No remnants of season 2 are in that teaser. Now we need to know that choices are going to carry over. So I think this is a very important thing that Telltale needs to show us the next time when they appear at the Comic-Con July event, and you know, just talk about maybe some way the endings are going to carry over, or give us some kind of hint or some kind of teaser that the endings have not been, you know, forgotten about completely. Okay, Jane there, Kenny there, or just AJ, even AJ there. Okay, we didn't even get that. But yes, guys, this was just a short teaser that I wasn't even expecting to be getting in E3, so we're still talking about that. So it's still very on in the Walking Dead Season 3 news department, so we'll have to see what happens. Okay, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you did stay tuned for this long, thumbs it up if you did. Appreciate this, and I'm out here. Game over, out.